All right, here we are with the one and only Creative Mind Frame, which we met, I think we already mentioned, but we met at the Classic Game Fest. But
Yes.
what's going on? Creative or Mind Frame or?
Mind Frame, One Up, Creative, whatever
One Up?
you want to call it.
So you do go by multiple names, right?
I do. So I started, originally when I started doing like the creative stuff, I was doing video and like just doing like editing and stuff. And so I was doing that as Creative Mind Frame. And One Up was just like a character that I made for one of the videos.
Right on.
That came out of a drunken breakdance competition that I got entered in on St. Patrick's Day. And I was wearing a One Up hat, so everybody called me One Up. So I started making I made this video where it was a guy who quit his job and he was just going to go dance battle people for money. And his name was One Up. And so it was like my coworkers and we were making these videos. And then we decided to do the parody to Gangster's Paradise, which was the first video I made. And we call it Nerd Paradise. And so that's where One Up first rapped. And so then like that's where the character actually came from. So when people don't get why I'm like, oh, I kind of like to be called Creative Mind Frame instead first. That's why, because it was just like a drunken joke.
Oh, well, right on. So like, do you really like draw a line though? Like Creative Mind Frame is like the producer and One Up is the Nerdcore artist or?
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to figure out, like the delicate balance between it. So like when I produce or when I like do video or photography, I try to like strictly just do Creative Mind Frame. And then when I rap, I try to do like One Up, but I'm trying to just like eventually just go by Creative Mind Frame again.
Okay. So I don't know how we introduce this, but I want to reiterate like who you are and how people can find you right off the bat.
Okay.
We met you at the Classic Game Fest with Mega Ran and Doug Funny and a couple other guys. And I didn't know about like y'all. I was a nerdcore guy. I was into like MC Chris, MC Lars, MC Front a lot, all the MCs, I guess. And since then, meeting you guys, I have delved so much deeper into the nerdcore genre, and also kind of like I didn't realize what a big player in the game like Mega Ran and yourself are. Like you kind of like I was starstruck after I did my research from meeting y'all. So it was all like shock to me. It was like, holy shit, I just met some like major league nerdcore rappers.
I don't like really consider myself major league, but I guess by association, I could be considered like, just from my entourage. I guess like I'm pulled along with.
You're going out, you're performing nerdcore music with the big guys. So I don't know if you do you have a tour? Do you go out like on the big tours, nationwide stuff?
I don't do tours just because of my job. I mean, the nature of my job, I'm Monday through Friday. So like my full-time job, I work as a business process engineer. And so I do like Six Sigma lean improvement projects in their operations center. And so like that keeps me pretty busy Monday to Friday, and I travel a lot for work. So,
but you haven't made the full transition into like professional rapper or anything like that.
No, I don't know if that's like my thing. I'm like, I actually have a tattoo that says balance right here on my arm in Arabic. And so like because I'm like very much about keeping that balance that helps keep my sanity. And like, I love all my music friends, but like, they'll tell you I'm like so rigid when we're planning stuff out. I'm like, this has got to be done by this date. This has got to be done by this date. And I'm like, so they're all like, oh, we'll just get it done wherever.
You're that guy. There's always that guy in the group.
I would like strangle myself. I'm like, I'm going to kill one of you guys. Yeah. I love them, but like, I just gotta, I'm sure. I think on the text thread today, I just sent them like 3 things. But like, hey, make sure you guys do this by this day. Get these posts up. Let's go. I told you guys I was going to be annoying about it, so I have no problem being that guy.
Yeah, you're playing more of the managerial role. You're making sure people are where they belong and things get done on time and stuff like that. Right on, man. Like I said, there's always that guy in the band, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like we had a guy in our band that was that way, like practice now. And here's the time. We set the date. We got to do this. The show's here. We got to get 12 in. And if we miss this one, it's 11 and that's not going to work. It's just, I get it. I don't want to kind of like poke fun, but I do get it. And it is good fun to poke, but
it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Everybody needs that guy.
Yeah, I think between me wanting to be there 15 minutes early and everybody else being fine, being 15 minutes late, we get there like right on time.
That's the way it always works, man.
You're burst like blowing, like having an aneurysm now half the time.
So, all right. So you like, it sounds like you don't really consider yourself a nerdcore rapper at heart, though. So what would you say would be like the number one thing you're into, at least right now? You know, what is your focus really in on?
I mean, I'd say I have a pretty heavy focus in on the music still, because I probably spend like solid 20 hours a week on music.
Oh, right on. Yeah. So maybe my guesstimation was wrong. Yeah. Maybe that is the focus.
Yeah. Like, you know, usually when I leave work, I'll come home and I'm like, I just packed up a bunch of stuff earlier to send out. I did a Kickstarter sometime about a year and a half ago for a comic book I was working on. And it went with, there's this album series that I first did, that I came up with the idea back in my old company when I used to work. And it was like based off a song I did where it was like 2013, before I was a player. For those of you guys, you can't see the video, I did the quote, a player in Nerdcore.
Yeah, for everybody out there, this is the first time I've ever like Skype videoed an interview. So me and Mr. Creative Mindframe here are eye to eye while we're talking, which is, to me, it's a little different. I've never done it. So, but I get to see him. He gets to see me. I think it's a natural conversation so far.
Yeah, we're like meeting eyes, you know, exchanging looks. It's very romantic.
Yeah.
Well, so I started this, I made this song like a few years ago called Nerdcore Emulation Station. And it basically was like, because I hadn't met half of the people that I do music with now, I was like, how weird would it be if I just sent them a message? Hey, you don't know me. Will you do a song with me? So I'm like, what's the next best thing? I'm going to emulate them and pretend to be them. So like, I made this music video for it and everything. And like, so Mega Ran was one of them. I'd only met him like once, or I think maybe once up to that point. Richie Branson, like just a bunch of people. And they ended up seeing it. They're like, oh, that's pretty cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then we all ended up hanging out at Nerdapalooza that year anyway. And so I ended up turning it into like an album series where I go to like different planets and like I emulate the guardians of the planets to like free them from like a mind control spell or whatever. And like each of the planets is always a video game console. So like the first one, we actually went to 3. We went to Nintendo 64, Sega Saturn, and like PlayStation. And then the second one was GameCube. And then the third one I decided to turn into a comic book, and it was the Dreamcast. And so I did a Kickstarter for that.
Wow, right on, dude.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
I got 200 copies of a comic book that I drew, colored, and printed myself.
Oh, wow. So, okay, so right on topic, like where can people find this book though? Like where can they read it? Where can they buy it, order it, whatever?
So you can buy it. My Bandcamp is oneups.bandcamp.com. You can actually read and stream it for free on the npccollective.com. And that's that group that, you know, we were all, when you met all of us at CGF, that was a few of the members of the Nerdy People of Color Collective. And so I put up the JPEGs. They're a little bit lower resolution, but they're still very clear. And so I have the JPEG in a post, and then the SoundCloud embed link below the page that the song.
goes so with. it's a dual kind of input.
Yes, there's a song that goes with each. Yeah,
that's awesome. I just saw the first augmented reality book I've ever seen. So you can hold up your tablet or whatever, and it scans the book and knows where you are and generates like 3-dimensional images.
That's super cool.
Yeah, so you just read a book and then you can just kind of watch a little thing, and it's awesome. And that kind of sounds like what you're going for here, where you can be reading the book and listening along with a dual experience kind of interaction.
Maybe that's what I'll do next. Maybe I'll make an augmented reality album.
Dude, that's the future. That is the fucking future.
Maybe that's what we're in right now. Oh my gosh, we're in augmented reality.
Dude, that's what it is. I mean, 2 guys talking across the fucking atmosphere through space and fucking laser beams. It's amazing what technology is bringing us.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, man. So, like, where are you at? And you say you do photography, production, stuff like that. Like, what are any like big things going on, or like if you have any tales? I've never been a photographer, but like, do you have a collective, or do you have a book, or are you working on anything in that realm?
I don't have. I really need to like set up just something that's specific for my photography, because I post all the. I try to only post like pictures that I've taken at events or like when I travel on my Creative Mindframe page, like in the albums. I'll post like regular pictures and stuff if I'm at a show just on the timeline. But on Facebook, if you go facebook.com/Creative Mindframe, that's my music page. But I have like an album that's called Gulliver's, but in the parentheses, but really Emmanuel's Travels. And since I travel a lot for work, like I'll go explore a lot, and I'll just like try to like pictures. I've like gone up to the Rocky Mountains. I've gone to Estes Park, like a lot of places in California, Florida. So I usually just, once I leave the office, I'll go and, take photos and just edit some stuff. And a lot of times when I'm at shows too, I'll just take pictures of people and just try to capture like, people in their raw essence.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Like, I guess that's like the true photographer. You're just capturing the moments. I never really thought about, photography. I mean, photography is an art, and I get it. Like, as a consumer, I see it, and yeah, okay, that's nice. But I guess as like the adventure, the cataloging of it, that's a whole like different world. I guess that's what people get out of it. I've never played with it too much, but
yeah, I think my goal is like when I'm taking pictures of actual people too, I want to capture them in like this element that they can look back on the picture and be like, what was I laughing about? Oh my gosh, so-and-so told that hilarious joke. And then they laugh again, right? So they can like basically relive the moment that I captured, something that they may have otherwise forgotten.
Yeah. And with that comes all the, like the smell in the air, the taste of the food you were having at the event. Like all those memories rush right back, and you're placed right back into that moment.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of pictures of my girlfriend, but she's always laughing in all of them. So I don't know if she'll be able to pick which moment it is.
Is she hanging out?
She's in the living room. I don't know if she heard it.
Well, right on, man. So, you just recently dropped this new album. Is that right? Like, it's pretty fresh on the, charts or whatever. This month? I wanted to say, I was going to guess last month. So that's why I didn't point a finger. But yeah, so brand new album. This is Emulation Station 3.
The final one takes place on the Dreamcast.
No shit,
Very
man.
elaborate storyline.
How long did you work on this? Like, is this a huge undertaking?
It was and I mean, the amount of time that I really like devote to music, it does flex. It varies based on like how much stuff I have going on at work. I mean, because sometimes I'll be on like 3 or 4 projects at the same time, and it's just, what I do is creative problem solving at work anyway. And so like, I have to like maintain, that level, like a kind of high level of being able to look at things very objectively from multiple angles. And so sometimes I don't come home and work on music after work, because I'm like, I still have stuff I have to figure out, take a break, figure it out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So there was like a 6-month period where I was like on a lot of projects. And so I didn't work as much on the comic book as I should have. So it ended up taking me probably about 18 months to do the whole thing, which is like, it's funny because I released the first one and the second one within 7 months of each other. And so I think everybody was like kind of surprised to see how long it took me to do this one. But, I also, when I was talking to Megan Moran one time, like, I think it was at Orlando Nerd Fest 2014, just asking for some musical advice, because I was still kind of like coming into my own as a rapper, figuring out, what's my style, what's the best way to approach it. And he was like, well, I'll just tell you one thing. It's the internet. Once you put it on the internet, can't take it back. So you better do it right the first time. And so I was like, noted, sir. So as much as I got frustrated with like being so slow paced with this, the end results, I felt a lot better about it.
Right. Yeah, we're working on our same thing, man. I'm trying to mix down a bunch of songs, and we promised it. I think we've already blown past our date twice on release, because we told people on the podcast, like, it's coming out like next month. And then it's just, I've fallen into a grind of like, I got to work on the album. I got to fucking master. I got to do all these things.
Yep.
And getting it just right is so hard. So I have to stop, take a week off, take a month off, and then readdress it because I come in with a fresh, like ear to the whole fucking situation, and on, over and over again, just retouching everything.
Exactly.
And I think it gets better every time, but I hope it gets better every time.
What I do is every time I listen to the songs, I would like have my notepad out for my iPhone, and I would just take notes, be like, at 3:27 fix this, at 4:10 fix this. And then finally where I got to the point where there were only like 3 things that I was going to fix on the album, I was like, forget it. Like that's
good enough.
Like,
and now we're nitpicking.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, that could be something, and like it's so subjective, right? I'm like, oh, I don't like that, but somebody could listen to him like, oh, that was really cool they did that, because it's like a little bit off the norm. So
yeah, I mean, those quirks were what make things like original.
Exactly.
You did bring up, I got a couple notes here, but you mentioned Richie Branson. You know Richie, or you hung out and you know him? Because I just found his music, and I'm a little on edge about Richie.
Really?
Mainly because I saw his catalog. I kind of listened to a few things, and he had a style. And then he dropped this. I'll have to look it up to get the exact name of it. He dropped a music video that was not like on brand at all. And I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. I'm just looking. What is that?
One Up? Are you talking about the video One Up?
No, is that what it's called? The one where he's on the like a party house and there's.
Yeah, with his old group Red Prodigy.
Hold on, I'm trying to Google with one hand here. Brands.
I like that song a lot.
I love the song, but it doesn't. It doesn't fit his style at all from what I've seen of it.
Yeah, so he does both though. I mean, like you'll find a lot of like nerdcore guys that they dabble in both realms, right? It's because it's hip hop still, right?
Yeah, I mean, so I guess you got to have your straight songs and your I guess nerdcore songs. Let me see. I don't think that's the video. There's one. Hold on. Keep going. I'm sorry. Don't hold on for me. I'm Googling shit.
Unless you're talking about the Jersey fist pump one.
Yes, fist pump. That's the one I'm talking about. That one does not fit. Like he went to like club hopping LMFAO shit out of nowhere.
Ask him about that and just.
What I assumed was somebody went up and said, "Hey, we'll sign you. We'll get you an album deal. This and that. We got to create a hit." And so, kind of a sellout thing is what I've been thinking.
You'll have to ask him about.
Okay, yeah. Let's not throw Richie under the bus. I'm just trying to talk to an insider about my view on it. It sounded, or it seemed selloutish.
I thought you were going to talk about What Up. I was like, you can't talk about that song. I was like, I love that song.
No, it wasn't. I haven't heard that one. I don't think. I'll have to play the video back to myself later. But
look up his Red Prodigy mixtape. That's some of his buddies from San Antonio that they had like a group that they had together. And I like it a lot. I have like 2 or 3 of the songs off of it on my workout playlist on my iPhone still. But yeah, and like that's like not nerdcore at all. But it's dope. It's super dope.
All right, I went ahead and typed it in so I wouldn't forget it, so I can check it out.
There you go.
One other note I had made. What's your take on Trebek? Because that's the hot news in nerdcore.
Yeah. The whole Trebek thing.
I saw Mega Ran on like TMZ, and everybody's been blowing up. Like people have been dropping like hate song or diss songs, I guess they're called diss songs. Just
diss
speaking,
songs. That's what hip hop's about. You got to diss people.
Just talking shit about Trebek. I love it, but I was gonna see where you stood. Like I was offended as a fan of nerdcore.
I mean, Jay, I'm still gonna watch. I watch Jeopardy with my mom like all the time when I'm back home. I'm still gonna watch it. I think we all watch Jeopardy.
Oh yeah, I'm not one.
We all scratched our heads. We were like, "Wait, did you realize that like most of the people watching Jeopardy are nerds?"
Exactly. Right? And I'm not one to ban somebody because of some shit they said. I hate this PC fucking get everybody fired for tweeting the wrong thing culture we're kind of leading into. So let Trebek have his job. He fucking goofed whatever. People are offended.
So smug. It was so annoying because I'm just like, it was okay. So like, here's the thing. Nobody in Nerdcore really cares that he called us. We were like, yay, free press. That's what everybody was like.
Free press. We accept it. I think that's, I mean, that's what I assumed Lars and Mega Ran were doing, and like Schaefer when they came out with a whole song themselves. I was like, fucking strike when the iron's hot. Fucking, get your name out there.
But then on the flip side, the annoying part is like, what's the first thing a lot of people already think when they hear Nerdcore, right? Like, it's, I have to like bring people to shows to be like, hey, like there's a lot of like, just
it's real music.
It's regular music. Like we just drop nerdy stuff in there, and like it's
That's
more like
everybody I think tries to like pigeonhole Nerdcore into like a comedy subgenre.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, it's a subgenre of like rap. It's just as credible. It's real music, real beats. People are doing the same job. It's just the topic isn't AK-47s and cops. It's all the good memories and member berries we all enjoyed from
Remember Chewbacca?
That's why I love it though. It's like I love Nintendo, I love my video games, I love like that culture, and it's good to hear music about it. I don't think it's member berries, but
and like that's the thing. I think it's just music, but Nerdcore is more of like a family. I mean, we all just go crash with each other. We like find excuses to have shows together. And so like, it's hard to explain to people, like when you say Nerdcore, they're like, oh, what is that? And like, I constantly have people come to shows and they're like, oh, wow, it was like regular music. And so to already have that automatic perception, be branded to that, then the first thing that just millions of people who were watching Jeopardy heard was, oh, so it's for losers, right? Like, like, oh, come on, man. You couldn't have thought of something like, and I know that she said, like, she made the comment about the last part, she probably didn't have to throw in, she's like, hard time finding romantic partners, because, so, like, I see both sides, but then I'm like, okay, so you just basically branded everybody who likes Nerdcore and does Nerdcore, you're just calling them losers, and so, like, a lot of people aren't going to go do their independent research. I'm like, over here, like, dude, suck at your back. I was a 2-time All-American in the hurdles. Like, I was all-state in track. Like, I'm like, I can break dance. Like, am I really a loser? No. Like, you need to understand. I don't
think anybody are losers though. I mean, even the guy who's drawing like furry fan fiction. I mean, they are creating an art. They're creating something that didn't exist before. So why bash him? Why tell him that his art or their art, I guess, is any less valuable than anybody else's? Maybe it's not as good, but keep trying. Like, really make something of it. Like, apply yourself and get good at it. And that's all you can ask of anybody. If you want to rap, you want to paint, you want to, be the best bus driver, support people and like, do it, dude. Fucking exactly. Hopefully you don't starve to death in the process, because I can't help that. But I can tell you, keep going.
Yeah, and so I don't think that in all reality, like, none of us really cared. We're just like, let's have some fun and drop some diss tracks at Alex Trebek. Like,
I love it.
He's been getting so smug lately. It's been kind of annoying me. I'm like, come on, man, dude. You're holding the cue cards, and you just like, one of the comments he made pissed me off. Like, where he said, I don't think contestants should make more than the game show host. I'm like, they're not.
Oh, fuck you, Trebek.
Like, why do you think you're so like? Just get out of your own like butthole, man. Well,
I mean, he's owned Jeopardy for like 60 years, so
yeah,
he does have. Not excusing it, but he does have like a little place to stand on his own 2 feet about like, hey, guys, I'm important. But look, I'm telling you, he would get so much more respect if he just grew the fucking mustache back.
I know.
That's all I ask.
That's kind of creepy. I'm just like, it's just like, because he's had it so long. I'm like, yo, you gotta put it back, man.
Well, now it's been like 15, 20 years he hasn't had it. But it's still, I want to say 10 years.
It still seems so fresh to me. Like, I can't even imagine him. All those,
Let me see.
Christmases.
I am curious. Trebek mustache. Surely there's a tribute website somewhere when it died. Oh, when did Trebek shave his mustache? Riveting radio while I figure out things on Google.
The best thing that came up out of that though was people were sharing that Family Guy video that I had forgotten about, where Adam West was on Jeopardy, and it's like, all right, whatever. He asked the question for Final Jeopardy, and he's like, okay, what did you put down, Adam West? You put, was it Kebert Zellar or Zella or something, and then he was like, oh, and then he just blows up, and then Adam West goes, saying his name backwards is the only way to get him to return to the fifth dimension. I completely forgot about that clip, and I was so happy that it came out because of that.
All right, so it's been 15 years. Trebek shaved his mustache 15 years ago. So yeah,
I mean, over half of my life ago.
Exactly.
Ago.
So yeah, fuck Trebek. But instead of suck it, Trebek. We should have had a grow a mustache back, like become a man again. I didn't hear anything dissing. Like I think there was one line dissing his lack of a mustache in a couple songs I heard.
Yeah, I think it was in the Nerdcore mega diss video they did.
I would have preferred an entire "Where the fuck's the mustache" Trebek song.
Where your mustache at? What?
Yeah, just cut him down, man.
Mustache at.
Well, shit. Okay,
That's what I should have done. The track off.
Dude, for real, you still have time. Just fucking drop a track.
Yeah,
you got a spare beat laying around. Say Trebek 100 times and just throw it out there.
Trebek.
Where's the mustache?
Oh!
That's all it is. You start with the chorus. You say some random shit that supports the chorus. Repeat the chorus 3 more times. You have a pop song. It's fucking.
People like to be able to participate. That's what, I have to balance. Sometimes I write some weird songs just for myself, and I'm like, yeah, I like this song, and I'll write it so I can listen to it because I'm like, yeah, I don't hear enough of this song, and then I have to be very conscious. Like, I'm like, okay, when I'm making a song, is this something that I'm going to perform at a con because it needs to be like,
it needs to be hype. Yeah, it needs to be hooky and all that.
People need to be able to anticipate certain things coming. So there's like 20% of my catalog is con stuff, and then the rest of it's just weird stuff that I've made. I'm like, yeah, this isn't for anyone else.
I need you to send you some of our tracks we're working on so you can give it a listen. We don't really do hook stories and stuff. We just do stories. So verse 1 is a story, and then there's a verse 2, and then there's a verse 3, and that's the whole song, minute 20. Just a quick little story. Here you go. In and out. I'm sorry?
So that's perfect for my attention span.
Yeah. That's the new world, man. The Ramones figured it out in the 70s doing 30-second songs, and the world just now caught up to their attention span.
Yeah. We'll be at cons and stuff, and they're like, man, how did you get so many songs on your set? I'm like, because all my songs are 2 minutes long because I have a short attention span.
Yeah. Just bam, bam, bam. Yeah, wow, look at that. And then on to the next one. Just keep wowing them.
String them together, man. I'm like, I'll do 30 songs in a 25-minute set, man.
I am all for that kind of shit, man. I love the short, fast. It's got to be catchy. Catchy, in your face, short. Just blast it. Party music is what I call it. Because it's just hype. Just make party music.
I mean, because we like to come together. Cities, right? That's people just naturally congregate together. So if you can give them something to come together on your song with, then yeah, they're gonna like more. They're like, yeah, I really like that song because I was able to participate and contribute.
Yeah, yeah. When you're part of the crowd, when you're part of the feel of the entire auditorium at any given moment, you're part of it, man. People love that shit.
Then some people just stand in the crowd and they're like, I paid to watch you perform. What are you doing? Why are you trying to make me perform? I'm like, okay, that person, I'm not going to hold the mic.
Oh, the smug bastards?
Yeah.
The dance monkey dance motherfuckers?
Just angry that I've asked them to do anything. Yeah. I paid you to perform. I didn't know there was going to be any work involved in this show.
Well, you'll eventually see, you didn't play this song. I paid you good money, and you didn't play this song. And it's like, well, dude, I put on my show. This is what the show is.
Yep.
It's disappointing, but then you're also a smug asshole thinking that you can dictate what's going on. But anyway, I think we're running into this a little bit. I figure let's give you a chance to promote where you at, what's going on.
Yeah, so I just dropped, we just talked about the comic book I just did. That's all on my Bandcamp. I'm most active on my Facebook page, which is Facebook.com/Creative Mindframe, and as well as my SoundCloud page, which is SoundCloud.com/Creative Mindframe. And if you go to my Facebook or my SoundCloud, you can get to any of my websites. My main website's oneuphiphop.com. But yeah, a lot of my music's free to download on Bandcamp as well as SoundCloud. I got merch for sale.
I was gonna say that's one up with an S.
Yes.
Bandcamp.com, right?
Yeah. And so, and I have like physical stuff for sale. I'm running out of t-shirts, but I'm trying to re-up before MagFest. So I'm going to get another order of t-shirts before January. So, So I have all that stuff there. What else is going on? I got a show in Kansas City in December.
Oh, that's a bit of a tour. I would call that getting out of the house.
I perform. It's funny because like there's a joke with one of the guys that I'm friends with named Luis, and he's always like, "Oh, you perform still?" Because I never do any shows in Texas because like most of the shows that I get are like out of state. Like I did Denver Comic Con this year. I went to MagFest with Megaran this year and did that. I went down to South by with Ran and a bunch of them. I went to Orlando to do a show. I went up to Chicago to do a show. Like I went to Baltimore and did Otakon. Like for some reason, the places that like want to have me are more outside of Texas. So
well, I mean, you got to travel. You got to travel, man. It makes you a more centered person, and it also apparently you got a talent that people want to see. So give it to them. Fucking run with it while you can.
I don't think I'm like more talented than any.
No, not more talent, but you do have a specific talent.
Like I'll tell them that too. I'm like, you may be a better rapper than me, but I'm like way more fun to drink with than all of you.
That's all that matters. That's all people want is to have fun, man.
To get shows, they're like, hey, come out because we just want to party with you. One up, like, yeah, that's all I want to do too.
Right on,
this
man.
Is why I really do music. It's not for anything else. I just want to party with everyone.
Right on, man. Like I love it. That's why I love nerdcore. It's feel good fucking music. I mean, there's some serious songs, and some people get deep into issues, but it overall, it's just a good time talking about shit we all love as quote unquote nerds. It's good shit.
I remember when I made my corny pickup line song, I was like, yeah, this is definitely the type of song that I probably am going to excel at because that's when I felt like most of my element. So.
Oh yeah. Just talking shit. I watched that video several times. It's a good one. Okay. You also had said earlier, I just want to repeat it because NPCcollective.com, you can get your comic book. I guess. Read the book there. Oh, you can read it. Okay. And then where can you download or purchase the book?
On the Bandcamp. So all my merchandise is sold through my Bandcamp page.
Okay. Perfect. So you can get the album, you can get the comic book, you can have your augmented reality experience, and again, Creative Mindframe, dude. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for like being on the show and all.
Absolutely, I'm glad to be here. Let me know anytime, man. I love shooting the breeze with y'all.
Right on, man.
Jeff, this year?
What's that?
Are you gonna go to Classic Game Fest next year?
I think we're gonna try to sign up for it. We haven't. Okay. I know they sent out, questionnaires or applications or whatever. We haven't quite gotten on it, but I think we got time.
If you go, we're trying to get the whole NPC down there. So,
dude, yeah. Well, especially now that I kind of know what's going on, know who y'all are, definitely be a lot more hype about seeing the show than like sitting at the booth.
It's gonna be fun, so fun. We have a blast.
Right on, man. Well, again, Creative Mindframe. I don't know what to call you. Rapper, photographer, producer, fucking the creative guy.
That's what I do, just dabble here and there. Keep my mind apprised of what's going on everywhere.
Well, thanks for being on the show, man.